Welcome to another edition of the Nerds Delight podcast. We also say JayRow
and Crump Casso.
Welcome. We got two special guests in the building today. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I go first. My name is Hadarii Jones, Make You Better Financial Group.
And I am Monivia Jones, the other half of Make You Better Financial Group.
See, Hadarii, I knew you're not supposed to introduce yourself first. You weren't supposed to do that.
I gave the floor to her, man, and just in recognition of Women's Month, I gave the floor to her. And
I just don't want to get a call. I don't want to get a call later telling me that I should have done that. I don't want to get a call like that. But thank you guys so much for joining with us today.
Good to have you here.
Good to have you. Before we get into the conversation, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for any past, current, and future content. So we're gonna do something a little different for this episode. So for this episode, we kind of want to talk briefly about what happened with the most recent episode of Snowfall, but we also want to start a new series of what makes you a nerd, and then also, because the guests here have their own platform, we want them to have the spotlight to talk about, what makes them a nerd, what is their nerdy about, but also to educate. And this is all a platform for education, to invite people to get more information, X, Y, and Z. So all right, let's get started with Snowfall first. So we just did an episode about Snowfall.
Yeah.
It was we did an episode for the mid-season review of Snowfall. So we stopped at episode 5. We did not get a chance to talk about this current episode. So I'm gonna let the guest start first. What did y'all think about the episode?
Well, I'll start off and just say this real quick, that first of all, I'm a big fan of the platform, Nerds Delight podcast. Big fan of your platform, man. Been looking at it for quite a while, checking out all your videos. I appreciate what y'all are doing for the culture, and for your platform. The Snowfall thing, man, I'm still feeling kind of a certain sort of way, man. What you?
Jerome. I'm just so sad about Jerome, like he's gone. R.I.P. to him.
Yeah.
He went out like a G though.
You know what? I was so mad that he died that way, because I was like, dude, you could have found a way to do something different. That you could have maybe you could have got shot in the arm. Maybe you could have ducked out the way. I didn't say he's Neo or nothing like that, but he could have figured out a way. Like, he was so, and then I don't know if y'all saw the trailer for next week's episode. They were talking about Louis was blaming Franklin for everything that happened. And I'm sitting there like, no, you need to hold accountability for what happened. Yeah. Franklin was actually looking out for you.
I said when Franklin was sitting there crying over his uncle, he should have just went ahead and took her out with him.
Yo.
Hey, that's real, man. That's real.
Yeah.
And I have to say that too. We were saying that when it happened, like, it's really her fault, but I think a lot of that is the guilt. The last conversation they had, he kind of put it on her. I don't want to do this no more. He was telling her that, and so and I feel you too, because he was so much of the ghetto Superman to me. Mm-hmm. Like, you came up with Jerome from his early days to where he ended, man. And so to see him go out like that, man, it was hard, man.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Go ahead, Crump.
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree with everything that's been said so far. I am surprised that kind of happened. It's not early. We're at the halfway mark, but I thought it would happen like later on, like maybe like the last episode, maybe the second to last episode. So this kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Yeah, this one hurt.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked that it happened that quick too.
Yeah,
it got to come to a closure though. It has to come to a closure. So maybe everybody will be gone by the end, or they escape to another country or something.
There's 4 episodes left, man. What they gonna do? There's 4 episodes left.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna die this season. I just didn't know when, and I expected it to be late, because you wanted like everything to happen kind of late. But also, I understand what they're trying to do. I guess they're trying to cushion all the blows right quick, because they're trying to have enough space between each episode for everything to happen.
Right.
And I just wonder, man, because it's gonna be like it's very interesting because now I have a feeling that Louis is gonna try to set up Franklin to Teddy. And Franklin's got he's in control right now. He is like within fingertips of getting Teddy.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna backfire because Louis is gonna do something dirty to get him caught up.
But don't forget about the chick that's holding Franklin down. She got his back, so she ain't gonna let nothing happen to him.
Yeah.
I like her.
Oh, V, yeah.
I was a little iffy on her before.
Me too.
I was too, yeah.
When she flipped on her mom, I felt like that was it. So hopefully she don't disappoint me. We'll see.
Yeah. But I do think if something like I do think they're gonna by the end of next week's episode, Franklin and Teddy are gonna see each other. That's my prediction.
They gotta see each other.
Yeah. It's gonna be I don't know if it's gonna be guns blazing or fisticuffs or whatever. I mean, I don't think Franklin can beat him in a fight, but I just think that, you know, if the right plan comes together, he can get Teddy where he wants. Yeah. I asked this question on the last episode, but I'm gonna ask you two.
Okay.
Do y'all think Franklin's gonna get his money?
I don't. Just because of who you're dealing with.
I think he is, but when he does, it's not gonna even matter. I don't think it's gonna matter because I think that
they're gonna take him down.
Yeah, I think the resolution, the end of it is gonna be him either in prison or dead. So I think he's gonna get the money. It's gonna matter. It's not gonna matter. Yeah.
What about you, Crump?
I still say what my answer was last episode. I don't think he's gonna get it. I think Teddy's gonna try to get it, but it's not gonna happen. Something's gonna happen to where I don't think Frank's gonna get it.
$3 million.
Right. A lot of money. A whole lot of money.
But I think he's gonna get it. I also think he's gonna kill Teddy. I think he is gonna be the one to kill Teddy though. But I don't know. I don't think he's going to jail because he's already went to jail.
Yeah,
true.
And he already got shot. So I don't know if he may have the money, but I don't know if he's going to be happy with the money in regards to like he may lose V behind this because she may die.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just think it may be the thing like he's happy. I mean, he's got his money, but are you really happy? Kind of thing.
Well, we definitely gotta come back and see.
Yeah.
My second favorite show of all time, Behind the Wire, man.
That's a classic.
That's what I'm saying. This is my second favorite show behind the wire. You know, it's Snowfall, man. So
do y'all watch Power?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, man, we down. We got a lot in common, man. I check out a lot for those shows and to hear y'all opinion when it comes to those shows, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's segue because we just talked about the money situation. Let's talk about, you know, financial literacy.
Ooh, money.
Which is something that you guys are very passionate about.
Yeah.
Almost can say that you guys are financial nerds. So
yeah,
we are. Like I'm the admitted nerd. Like I wear that badge proudly. You know, I come up a little bit different because I'm a hood dude too, you know, but I was one of those hood cats that was definitely a nerd. You'll catch me on the stoop reading a newspaper or something like that, you know, and so I'm deep with it, came up in the comic book culture, the whole nine. Now, my wife, she's just as much of a nerd, but she doesn't like to admit it.
Oh, she's low key with it.
She tries to let, like, I'm not gonna say her hood part, but she wants that to shine through a little bit more than her nerdiness. But we'll definitely like delve into that. But thank you again for sharing your platform with us and giving us a chance to talk a little bit about what we do. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What that is actually investment literacy, which is very important arm when it comes to financial literacy. And as you guys mentioned earlier, pre-recording, especially when it comes to people of color. You know, so what we do in a nutshell is we teach people how to invest in financial markets. And what makes it a little different is that if you have never heard of the stock market, you can come through our course and you will be an informed investor by the time you finish. Wow. So that's what we do. We teach people the A through Z of equity markets. So we teach people how to invest in stocks. We teach people how to build retirement accounts. We have master classes where we go over things like 401ks. We talk about current market conditions, things like we've had master classes on electric vehicles, the infrastructure bill. We talk about if cannabis ever becomes a real thing, how that would do market-based. We talk about crypto, just blockchain technology, period. A whole bunch of stuff that nerds that would identify with.
And you're showing your nerd right now. I am. I'm in my element.
I'm in my element. So I will stop and let my wife talk a little bit and reel it back right. So
first of all, let me say that it's about balance. You talked about my hood side versus my nerd side. It's about balance. It's about balance. I try to hold this road, you know. But he's right, you know, everything that he said. We do have a community of people, you know, that we're helping them understand more about investing, mainly through the stock market, and, you know, helping them understand how building generational wealth is important. And, you know, at the very least, just becoming more financially literate. And so we got a course, you know, that we take everybody through from beginner basics all the way through, you know, more advanced levels, but meeting people where they are and just trying to help them understand how to build something for themselves.
Man.
Question for you guys. Yeah. And thank you. Well, first question I have is how did you guys get started in this? Like what was the igniter that got you guys, well, each of you into this?
You stole my question.
Well, for me, I think ultimately, like, it's always kind of been there, just based on my upbringing, you know, but it did really begin to blossom when I started looking at my children. We have a 26-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And so
all boys. So,
you know, we got one coming out into the world with a bunch of student loan debt. We got one that was coming up on graduation and, you know, have decided that right now college is not the thing for him. He'd rather explore other options, which we fully support. And so, but I'm like, you're not going to go to college. You heading out into the real world. You know what we do? You know, we got to have some type of plan. And so it started with wanting just to make sure that they were financially literate.
Okay.
You know, and as a way to increase income, you know, is where it started. The stock market was an easy way to go. And so from there, it just grew, you know, into what we have now, because I laid it all out. That's when I basically created my curriculum. You know, I laid it out for my children and I took them through step by step. You know, this is what you do. This is how you do it. This is what it means. This is how it can grow over the long term. So when you become our age, you know, you have a little something there that you can create for yourself, just using your brain, basically. And so we bribed them at first. I will say that. I will admit to that. I told them, you know, if y'all go through this with me, if y'all sit down and pay attention and listen to what I'm saying, at the end of it, I'll give you your own bank account and we'll start your own investment account. And you can make your own investments, pick what you want to have in there and all of that. And we'll nurture it over time, you know. And so they did. They sat down with me. They heard money at the end, so they rolled with me. And we did just that. I was able to take them through it. We got them their investment account. We got them their bank account, and they've been doing good with it. And we just trying to keep teaching them, you know, more and more along the way.
Yeah, I would kind of echo that too. You know, especially again, just going back to the theme of people of color, man. That's so important for us to understand that there are different ways to build wealth than just having a job, the stuff that we've been taught through our culture. You know, we have more than 25 years of investment experience between us. And so we recognize that as a benefit for other people to teach other people. Like when we saw that we could show our kids, and this was something that we did, we sat down through them when the world shut down for COVID. We sat down with them for 2 weeks, and every single day we developed our curriculum for them. They are the first people to go through it. And so we said, okay, if we can teach them, we can teach other people as well. And so that's how like the whole concept started. But again, it's grown so much, man. You know, we manage now like 2 investment accounts as well, club investment accounts that people who've been through our classes invest in. And so that's like real cool too. And we did it all the right way, man. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, none of that crazy stuff. We did it the right way. We said, okay, we go teach people how to do it for themselves, you know, and once you know how to do it for yourself, even if you don't use it, you have that knowledge. And too many of our people don't, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, I mean, and again, the saga continues, man. What I really love about it, though, is just being able to engage with people from our community. And again, just like on you guys' show, you cover a wide range of topics. And again, you know, we do the same thing because every single day there are things going on out here in the financial world that even if it doesn't affect us, we need to be aware of it.
Yeah.
You know,
I was gonna say to piggyback off that, like it could be like a show cancellation, it could be a show getting picked up for a new season, it can be like someone getting fired from a high ranking executive getting fired from a job at like wrestling, like WWE.
That's right.
Or like Disney getting like signing the X-Men or something like that, or they, you know, they took over the X-Men rights from Fox.
Right.
Like, and each one of these events causes a trickle effect to their companies, like Disney stock, WWE stock, like Marvel stock. All this stuff is like it affects the stock market because, and it's crazy because how would you think these little events like that, you would think they're a little or not as big, but they trickle down to like how much this stock is going to be worth down the road.
That's true. That's true. And what you're speaking of is fundamental analysis. And that's a part of your fundamental analysis when you're doing research on these different companies that you're looking to invest in. And so, you know, you really hit the nail on the head because it is funny how just the smallest thing to the biggest thing, you know, can cause the stock price to fluctuate.
You see the nerd come out of it when she hit you with fundamental analysis. I told you it's there, man. She don't like to let it jump out, but you heard it. You heard fundamental analysis.
We talk about all that in our course and within our community and everything.
That's right.
I also want to piggyback on something you said, Hadarii. You said something that really resonated about like how African Americans look at financial literacy and financial growth, or financial wealth, excuse me. And it's crazy because, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say you're a crazy amount older than me and whatnot. But what I will say is that you kind of grew up around the same time. No, I said Hadarii. I didn't say you.
No, that's what she's laughing at. That's what she's laughing at. No, but you're exactly right, man. We talk about that, and it's taboo too in our community that a lot of the times when people in our families pass on, there's not really that much left.
Yeah.
And in this country, the number one way that people build wealth is inherited. You know, and in our community, you don't have that so much. And so a little bit of more of the nerd in me. When it comes to us, we are some of the biggest consumers out here. We have more than $1 trillion worth of buying power, but we have less than 3% of the country's wealth. I mean, that's crazy. You know, and then you go deeper, you know, just looking at us, again, numbers that you can check, man, less than 1% of us when it comes to investing in just the general market, less than 1% of us do that. You know, more of us do it through like jobs, that type of thing. But when it comes to just individuals who invest, less than 1% of Black people as a whole do that. And a lot of it has to do with fear, not understanding the market. But then some of it too is that we've just never been taught. That's not conversations we have in Black households when we coming up. We don't talk about stuff like that. And so that's part of what we're trying to do, man. Change the narrative a little bit, change that conversation to where this is something that we do talk about in our household. And we've even seen it now. It helped change the conversations we have in our circles. You know, because again, we big on pop culture, stuff like that, that type of thing. But we do need to mix some of this in. Like what you said about Disney, is so crazy about that because again, I told you I'm a Marvel fan, man. Yeah. So I was big when I was big like when they acquired the X-Men rights and all that good stuff. Yo, that was cool for me. She knew we went to see the first X-Men movie when it came out in theaters. Yeah. When the Statue of Liberty scene when we came around with the claws, everybody in the theater stood up and clapped. And that was like the first real superhero movie that was really out that people could relate to. So, you know, and we invest in Disney. Disney is something that we do invest in because at the end of the day, Disney is one of the best companies in the world. One of the best companies in the world when it comes to their platform. And if you do break it down into analysis, why wouldn't you? You know, they own ESPN. They own Marvel, which has been the most successful movie studio the past 10 years, you know, and so that's how we look at it, like stuff that you consume. Why not invest in it? Instead of just buying stuff and having a receipt to show for it, why not have ownership? And that's, at the end of the day, that's what investing is. You know, I'm a big Nike fan. I love Jordans. You know, it costs less to invest in Nike than it does to own a pair of Jordans. And the difference is that it's ownership. Once you put those shoes on, they depreciate. But Nike stock is going to continue to go up as long as they continue to make Jordans, as long as people continue to buy them.
You know they are.
All of that stuff is going to remain true. You know?
It's funny you mentioned Marvel because I actually personally feel like the brand is depreciating a little bit. Because I feel like that because it's becoming it came in as a juggernaut. And it's because it stayed a juggernaut for a while. I'm worried that it's kind of gotten to a point where it's becoming oversaturated. So like
I can't get with y'all on the Marvel.
But I agree. No, I agree because it is like it's something dropping like every month now. You know?
Well, it's not even about the dropping because me and Jordan just had a conversation offline about quality over quantity. So like I feel like the quality for the products that's coming out from Marvel is honestly, I would say since Endgame hasn't been the best. So Endgame is 2019. So
I didn't even really like Endgame that much.
I didn't either.
But to be honest with you, I wouldn't.
I wasn't a big fan because I'm not a big fan of like time travel stories because I feel like those are like played out stories.
Endgame was a little convoluted for me, but I think that you speak to a bigger part when you talk about the Marvel thing. That you're right, the oversaturation of it, you know, and that might have been where they missed with their business concept, and you know that might be a big part of the reason that they changed leadership. Well, they went from Bob to Bob. So, or from Bob back to Bob.
Back to Bob.
Back to Bob. And you know, and regardless of how you feel about the content, like the stuff that has been put out since Endgame, because I have mixed feelings too. I think that there were some hits, and I think that there were some real bad misses.
And we could say that for another episode because I really want to dive deeper into that.
But this is what you have to think about too when you think about Marvel, when you think about Disney as a whole. We say right now, like, oh man, they have went down. They are not where they were. But look how high they set the bar.
Yeah.
Like if you look even at Ant-Man, Quantumania, they're talking about how that is a failure, but it's going to be like a $400 million movie. And that's crazy that we have gotten to the point where we are saying that a movie that generates $400 million is a failure.
Well, I think it's honestly competing with itself, though. It's just competing with itself. It's not competing with anything else.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But we are at that point where we say, okay, Quantumania, well, it didn't make the 900 million Black Panther 2 made, so it's a failure. You know, and but that's crazy. What other movies out here are making $400 million?
Right.
You know, and so again, you have to, and that's a big market thing too, because you create these expectations, and that's what shareholders expect. They expect every movie to make $1 billion.
Right.
It's not going to be that.
It's not going to happen because it's all about, like you saying, it's about a popularity thing too. It's like what brand is more popular than the other brand, and how they market that brand to make it as popular. So like, what was it like? Guardians of the Galaxy was a like no one knew about that group. Right. They knew about Spider-Man, and Guardians of the Galaxy is one of their high selling groups.
I knew about Guardians.
I knew about it too. I'm just talking about the general Marvel fan.
She went to see The Talking Raccoon. That's one of the movies I took her to see. We was right there. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, but you're right. You are absolutely right about that, man. But that's still like even an unknown product like that, they were able to capitalize so much on. You know, but again, like with them, and I feel you, I think that they are, but then when you look at it in the bigger picture, like Disney, man, they have been around forever. Everybody grew up on Disney. They have a vault that they can they have enough stuff that they can re-release and make money if they wanted to. They doing it every day.
True.
But yeah, thank you for honestly the wisdom and the and all the information that you guys provided. I have one question before I give you guys the opportunity to you know, advertise what's going on your end and how people can find you. What? What's going on?
No, I tell you, I had a super quick question too, just really short.
Okay, yeah.
So you know, with technology the way it is today, it makes things like so accessible. Like for y'all can reach people all over the world, whether it's Zoom calls or webinars or anything like that. And maybe y'all already doing this, or maybe I'm overstepping, but do y'all plan in the future? Do y'all think y'all see yourself maybe traveling and doing like, you know, like TED Talk type of things, or maybe doing like seminars and like in physical locations?
I would be open to it.
So
I would be open to it.
And we even have like, and this is something we might want to do with you guys too. We have what we call our speaker series interviews. And we interview different entrepreneurs throughout the community that are in different areas of influence, different spheres of influence. And so we would definitely do that. We would definitely be open to doing that, and we do connect through Zoom. Like most of the stuff that we do is through Zoom. You know,
that's pretty cool.
Or through Zoom, and so but we would definitely be open to something like that.
Which we do.
Cool.
Yeah, we love it, man. This is what we love, and it's real rare that you find something like that, and I acknowledge that. But we love being able to teach people how to do this. And when I say love it, I mean love. Love it.
That's good.
One last question before you guys tell people how to find you. Just one thing. What is, for someone who is new and who has no clue about financial literacy, financial wealth, what is the best advice you can give them? Just one thing.
My advice would be to invest in an index fund, and then you can spend time getting familiar with how the market moves and things like that. And the more your interest is peaked, then the more knowledge you're going to want to gain from it. But ultimately you do have to go ahead and get into it, in order to really understand how it moves and how it works.
Yeah. I would say hit me up at invest@makeyoubetterfinancialgroup.com. That would be the one thing I would say that you could do, because again, we walk you through it. We walk you through it. Now, what my wife told you is good business. If you had $10,000 and didn't know what to do with it, you had $1,000 and didn't know what to do with it, put it in an index fund and just walk away from it, and you're good. But the best thing to do is to learn how to do it for yourself, man.
And we will provide information in the description how to find Hadarii and his wife. So, guys, thank you so much. Like, truly, like, really, truly, thank you for your time, the information, your shared nerdom, and just the fellowship. Like, really, truly, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to be on here, man. We gonna keep checking y'all out too, man. Again, like I said, I'm big fans of the Nerds Alike podcast. Really like what y'all are doing out here. So we're gonna keep checking y'all out as well.
Yeah, we hope to have you guys on again. Like, truly, we really want to have you guys on again to like either further the conversation about financial literacy, and also to talk to get caught up with Snowfall or Power, all this stuff. Like, just fellowship again with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, we got it. You heard it. They heard it. Let's do it. All right. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel for any past, current, and future content. Thank you again. Talk to you soon. Peace.
All right. Peace.